Do you ever kind of just feel like a clay jar? Hi, I'm Brant, and our verse this week is 2 Corinthians 4, 7 through 9. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God, not from us. We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. Now, this all-surpassing power that Paul talks about, he mentions previously in verse 6. For God, who said, "Let the light shine out of the darkness," made his light shine in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of God's glory displayed in the face of Christ. And this treasure, this light of the knowledge of God's glory, is in jars of clay, fragile, breakable, everyday use, something that the readers of this letter can easily relate to. What I take from that is that this treasure is valuable. It is a treasure, but it's meant to be used, right? We don't lock this treasure in a vault where we can never show it to anyone. No one's ever going to see it. We're hiding it away. It's just in a clay jar in our house that we can bring out anytime we want to. And Paul is comparing us to those clay jars. We're fragile and breakable as humans, but we're something that the people around us can relate to, our experiences and the hardships that we face and our trials and how we still sometimes fall short. And then in verse 8 and 9, Paul talks about the hardships that face him and other Christians like us. We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed but not in despair, persecuted but not abandoned, struck down but not destroyed. And you'll notice that these are all a bad thing paired with the hope that we have in God. We are hard-pressed on every side, but we are not crushed, perplexed but not in despair, persecuted but not abandoned, struck down but not destroyed. And this is the treasure that God has put in us as clay jars, meant to share with people, this hope that life doesn't necessarily get any easier as Christians. It may even get worse, but we can have this hope of God to keep us going. That though times get hard, we will not be crushed. That though we may not understand the things that are happening around us, we don't need to despair. That though we may be persecuted, God won't abandon us. And even if we're killed, our ultimate self, our soul, is not destroyed, and we enter heaven. This is the hope that we can have as Christians, and it's a hope, a treasure that's meant to be shared, not hoarded away in chests and vaults, but kept in everyday fragile jars, so that we can share that hope easily and readily with others. So, as you go about this week, remember to share your hope, whether verbally or through your actions, with the people around you. Don't hide it away where no one can see it. Have a great week, and know that you're loved.